Well, hi everybody. You thought you got rid of me, huh? Well, anyway, I had to take a little break. I know we all feel like we're living in the upside down world, but I sometimes it just gets too much. Sometimes you just have to break out of there. Let me turn this up just a little bit because before I got this and didn't even get the top of my head in there. So yeah, sometimes you just have to take a little break and get out of there and spend some time around friends, see what's going on, a little reality check. Uh, for me, sometimes when I do reality checks, it kicks me back. It just kicks me back again. Um, Especially since I've been doing this channel and I've been meeting other people that are like minded, and God, it's so calming, just like I said, to know that I'm not the only person that believes like I do. Not that I expect people to believe exactly what I believe, but you know where I'm coming from if you're watching this. People that are watching all different news medias and not Fox News. That's what I'm trying to say. But every time I think, anyway, to get back to what I was talking about, reality checks, yeah. So I'm a night person and I live in apartments, and a lot of times, very safe apartments in the neighborhood here. So a lot of times I go out and walk before I go to bed at night, and sometimes I don't go to bed till 2 or 3 o'clock. So I'm out there anytime from 9:30 to 1:30, sometimes walking at night. And a couple of nights ago, I was walking a little earlier than usual because usually there's nobody out there when I go late at night. And somebody else was walking a couple hours later than they usually did. And I ran into this lady and I got to talking to her for just a few minutes. And I'm always kind of looking to see if there's any neighbors that I might have something in common with or something. But anyway, I didn't even bring up politics. She did. And the first thing she started talking about was how much she loved Donald Trump. And I didn't, I took like fly on the wall and told myself to just be quiet and listen to her and see what she has to say. Uh, don't say anything. And I usually don't anyway because I've never been a good debater. I always think of what I should have said 20 minutes later or something. It's just never been, being a Libra, it's just never been my thing. I make a great judge, or I would have, or a lot of Libras do, because they can always look on both sides of things. But I'm not really quick. I'd never be debate material, ever. No matter how much education I had behind me. It's just not in my nature. But anyway, I was listening to her, and she says, I think she could tell by the look on my face that I was wondering if she was kind of crazy or something. But she says he just did everything he said he was going to do. Everything he said he was going to do. And she went on for about 10 minutes saying all this crazy stuff that he supposedly has done. And the only thing I could think, well, does she think that he doesn't lie every time he opens his mouth? This certainly isn't real information she's giving me. Where is she getting this information from? And I don't know, unless it was just straight out of the president's mouth. A lot of times I can't stand to listen to him, so I fast forward because I always record everything so I don't have to watch commercials. So I usually fast forward through anything he says. Once I've heard it once, I'm not ever going to listen to it again. But anyway, it was just so, to me, it was just strange, just totally strange, and I guess I shouldn't feel that way. And then listen, today, this is Thursday, the day after Donald Trump said it was all right to collude with foreigners. I think that when he said that, he wasn't so much setting it up for the future. I'm not sure if he even thought that far. You know how he just opens up his mouth and shit comes out. I think he was saying that because he knows if they keep these investigations up and things come out, it's going to come out that he did. Uh, collude's not even a thing, but that it was even treasonous what he did with Russia. I'm sure that's going to come out. And this is in the last election, not the ones that they're talking about coming up after him saying this. But him saying it was okay to take information from foreign countries during a campaign, all this stuff. He was just setting up some boundaries for what's going to come out. I feel like this is something that's coming out, not something. I don't think he thought far enough ahead to think that this could help him in the next election, but it could hurt him in the next election too. A lot of people don't want him reelected if everybody thought they could just get a hold of everybody with any information on him even. But, and as far as the Democrats, good Lord. I heard them talking today, a couple of them, like they think that the Republicans are going to start playing fair any minute. It's like, even some of my like, I think they need to be primaried and kicked out of there. I mean, it's like, you know, most people I think are familiar with the AA stuff, where insanity is a definition of somebody who keeps doing something over and over again, and it doesn't work, but they think it's going to work different the next time or something like that. But they keep trying it anyway. They keep trying it anyway over and over again. And I remind myself of this a lot because all my life, my addiction of choice has always been food. And I've had to fight with it enough where I've even gone to OA meetings and to conferences and stuff. And they use the same guidelines as AA. And then I also have in the bar and a 15-year husband that was alcoholic. You know, you get to studying this stuff to try to help to see if there's something you can do to help the situation. But, yeah, insanity is doing something over and over again that never works, and you keep doing it over and over again thinking that the outcome's going to be different. That's what it is, thinking the outcome's going to be different. And that's where I feel like the Democrats are, you know, just go back to Lucy still in the football again. It's like, well, it's like you think she's going to leave it there this time, you know? It's like it's just weird to me that, is it being in the Beltway? Are these people so close and so surrounded that they don't really know what's going on? Just like a lot of my people I know, relatives and close relatives even. I have these talks sometimes with my grandkids and stuff. When it comes to like corporate, you know, Democrats and Justice Democrats, whatever, you have to, if you've always been in a position where you've had things come a little easily to you, and I'm not saying that you didn't work for it, because all my family, whatever, everybody I know that I'm talking about right now have worked hard to create the situations in their life that they have. But if they've never had to really worry month after month, week after week, how they're going to pay the bills, if there's going to be enough to take the kids to the doctor, if there's going to be enough to buy the kids shoes even. If they've been in that position all their life where they've never had to worry about the small stuff like that, I'm sure, you know, that they still have to worry and take care of their business. But I think they don't realize where middle America and middle man is coming from. I think that's why so many people even switched from Bernie Sanders over to Trump last time. It wasn't because they liked Trump or thought he was a nice person. It was that they were desperate and they wanted change, And they knew they weren't going to get it through the just straight, corporate Democrat type. And they knew they weren't going to get it through the so, so that's why they jumped. They were just going for that change. It was like they felt like it was a lifeline being thrown to them. Now, I would have never felt like that, even though I feel like I've struggled most of my life, but I would have never felt that way because I'm a really good judge of character, and like I said, I owned and operated a bar for 37 years, and I've pretty much and besides, because of my dad and my grandmother, I've been psychic most of my life, and usually I can take one look at a person and tell you what's going on with them. Not that that's bad or good. We're all, created by our environment and what we grew up with and the tools we had, but I can usually see pretty good into people when I first meet them or around them, or a lot of times even on TV. Just the first shot of somebody. The first shot I ever seen of Bill Barr, it made my toes even tingle on the back of my neck, and I wanted to go throw up. So, but anyway, I wasn't going to read on him, so I don't need to be picking on him. But I was going to, with all this stuff out, I just have trouble finding stuff to read on. And everybody keeps wanting to know about this race already when it's so far away, but about Joe Biden and I think I did a reading on him just a couple of weeks ago, and Elizabeth Warren and Pete, and the reason I'm using those three, maybe Kamala Harris, but I think they're the only ones that, and Bernie Sanders. There's about 5 of them that I feel like has a chance. Bernie Sanders, Kamala Harris, Elizabeth Warren, Pete Buttigieg. Everybody keeps asking about Joe Biden, but I don't even think he's going to be there. I don't think he's going to be there by this time next year. But that's just my thoughts. I may be all wrong. I've been wrong before. Boy, have I been wrong before. I would have sworn that Donald Trump would have never got in there. So let's just do a real short, I don't know what you'd call it. I call them half crosses, half Celtic crosses. Let's see. I'm going to use these cards back here. Let's see what. We'll do Joe Biden first. And anybody who wants to go back like it was when nothing was going anywhere, like when he was in power. He wasn't in power. Nobody was in power because the Republicans wouldn't let him have any power. What we need to do is switch that Senate over. Keep your eyes on the Senate, and anything you can do to help the Democrats win. I know everybody watching this feels that, but we've got to get the Senate turned over. Everybody's bumping their heads up against something. It's going to work, though. I know it's going to work. It's got to work. America's always came through before. Maybe we can actually come through this time. After we, like all the Trump stuff, he starts a fire and then goes in and puts it out and takes credit for putting the fire out. And once you start it, it's never the same. We all know that. So it's going to take a lot of work getting over him. Trying to get things back to normal. Oh, Jesus. Superstar. Anyway, let's see what's going on with Joe. He's talking about him. We'll do him first. So this is on just a quick little deal on Joe Biden and what's going on with him right now. Wow. Well, that's not good. First card up is a death card. So is this what's going on in his head? What's going on in his head? Is he wondering that he bit off more than he could chew already? I don't think anybody else thinks his campaign's dead in the water. I know I just said something like that, but I said in the next year he won't be there. But I didn't expect that to come up first. I hope that doesn't mean he's in danger or something's wrong with his health, but I was thinking campaign. I think he's feeling like he bit off more than he could chew. But he's got plenty of money behind him. He's got the influence of a lot of money behind him. I know those corporate Democrats are in there just pushing money and pushing money. All the corporations, all the big money's going to him. All the huge money's going to him. That's why all the network shows and MSNBC, even the ones that are supposed to be left, and CNN, that's all they're pushing is Joe. You watch any of them, that's all they're pushing is Joe. So, I know I used to read cards all the time before I even gonna turn this up. A lot of times it's called foundation and situation, but when I read for years, this was always the health card. So since the death card came up first, I'm thinking that's the death of a campaign of it not working out. But let's see what comes up here. Oh, this is good. So the foundation of the reading is more money being offered. More money, more money, more money. And so I think this is referring to his campaign, not his health, because sometimes this used to be the health card in some of my readings that I did for years. So that looks like it's not his health for the death card. It looks like his campaign. Something's coming up. That is strange. I didn't expect to see that in there, but that's what the cards brought up. Gee. Everywhere he turns, people are offering him money. Money's not going to be a problem. Here's the Page of Pentacles offering him money. Here's the Ace of Pentacles bringing money. Here's the money, big corporation money right under him. Now in the present. Wow. So he got the Sneaky Pete. Sometimes thievery. Sometimes underhanded. I feel like maybe it's just the people working around him have come up with all the different things that could go against this campaign if he does get in there. And all the different things that could come out because of being in government so long. Which seems small to a lot of people, but big to other people, especially some women and their rights and stuff. But I feel like maybe that's why he's feeling like maybe he's dead in the water. But there's something, something's going to come out. Something's coming out, some secret or something that even if it wasn't meant underhanded when it happened, it's going to look underhanded. Wow. Don't like those. Even though I didn't want him to win the Democratic nomination, I didn't want anything bad to happen. But yeah, I'm just going to say from these cards here that it would be an absolute miracle if he's still in there a year from now. From these cards right here. I'll read again on him, not in a couple of weeks. I'm going to wait at least a month before I read on him again after this. But these are something else. Something else, something else. Those are really something else. All those cards. Got the death card to start with, and that's not a physical death. I know that from where this here came up. Then we got all kinds of corporate money coming in. Then we got money from small donors coming in. And then we got huge donors coming in with great big money again. Then we got some deep, dark secret getting out. I don't know what in the hell that could be after him going through the vice presidency and everything else. But maybe it's a number of things because he's got more than one sword there. There's maybe 4 or 5 different things that's going to come down really hard on him. And then we got the Tower card, which means that he's not going to win the nomination. I would say he's definitely not going to win the nomination. That would, from these cards. Okay, and the next one here is Elizabeth Warren. God, let's hope she doesn't get danger out there right away, or I'll be thinking it might be a more of not a personal thing, but just a thing against all the Democrats. I don't know. Sometimes when I start that, I think I've watched it before and I just put them right back on top. Well, that's me. Okay, so this is for Elizabeth Warren. Let's see what's hard work. Good ideals, new buds, picking up new followers. A lot of slings and arrows coming toward her because of her being well, I'm thinking Justice Democrat, but whatever, somebody not taking the corporate money. Trying to think of the other name for that. Okay. Well, this is the influence or the obstacles. Maybe some of her obstacles they're going to come at her on is foreign policy. Thinking maybe they're going to come after her on foreign policy. She definitely wants justice. That's the right card. That's the foundation of her reading is justice. She does just definitely want justice for the people. This is not self-motivation. That's why she's getting all this energy. She's getting energies from the spirit world even to go for this because she's got really good intentions. She has good intentions. So a lot of women backing her. More every day. There's more women every day joining in and backing her. If things went right, this could develop into her getting the nomination. This is unusual. Usually I shouldn't have said anything ahead of time and then have the cards come out like I said it. I hope what I said didn't influence it. What I said should have nothing to do with the cards, but she's going to get more light. She's going to change some people's ideas. I was going to stop here and only go that far, but I'm going to go a little further here and go ahead and maybe do a whole Celtic cross on her here. She's worried there's going to be enough money coming in. She knows if things go smooth, that it's likely that the money could come in, but she's still worried about it. She's going to have to really be careful with the people on her campaign and keep everything straight. From what I understand, she's already really good at that. But they're going to really be looking at her, anything that they can find wrong with her, anything. They're going to be searching and they're going to be looking through anything to do with her money. She's truly, really, really afraid that Trump may get back in there. It just absolutely got her terrified. That's part of her drive. is worrying about Trump getting back in there. And the outcome is the Knight of Swords. She may just plunge right in there, even at the end, even after she thinks she may not even think she can get it, but she may plunge right in there and come up with this nomination. Anyway, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it, and it looks like she's got a really good chance by these cards here. And on here, I'm going to do this one more time. Let's do this for, everybody's always asking about Mayor Pete. Let's do this next one for Mayor Pete and see what's coming up with him. I know he's too far to the right for me, but he'd make a great vice president, because I think there's probably maybe, it's hard to say thousands, maybe millions more people out there that are bisexual than gay than let everybody else know. So I think if he ended up being the vice presidential candidate, that he would pull a lot of votes. Definitely help the situation, and he's definitely smart enough to help the president. Definitely make a great vice president. Anyway, let's do real quick one on him. Well, he's getting an offer. Well, who's he getting an offer from? But he doesn't like it. Maybe it's from corporations. Maybe it's from big money people that think that he's got a chance, or wanting to jump in there and put their money on him and back him because they think they can manipulate him. I think this might be a corporate offer for huge amounts of money to start coming his way if he plays their game. But right now, he's not ready to play it. And this may be his first time out of the booth, but he is no fool. He is no fool. Some people think that he might be, but he's not. So, if he's refusing this offer now, he will probably keep refusing it. The foundation of the reading, nostalgia. I don't know what would be nostalgic about him running, because he's kind of new. It would be something brand new. But there is something calming about him, and everybody's wanting calm so much. So maybe that's what people are feeling. Maybe that's why he's made as many points as he has in there already, is because he calms people down and makes them feel comfortable. Comfortable would be the word. Makes them feel stable. Stable's the word I'm looking for. And in the recent past, he's even did some honing up on stuff going on overseas. A lot of them, at least he's been in the service and he's been over there, and he's a brilliant man. But somebody studying on negotiating with other countries, what needs to be done, what doesn't need to be done. And here's another one. Thinking about how if somebody came in there and did things right, how it would influence the whole world. He does have the world. He has the world. He isn't just doing this for himself. He's kind of like Elizabeth Warren here. He's got deeper motivations. He wants to do this to help the world. And the money is going to start pouring toward him. So maybe it's going to be individual people if he still turns down the big donors. And like I said, he's not a fool. He does not want to totally belong to these people. So I think I'm not sure what he's planning on doing. In fact, I don't think he's sure what he's planning on doing right now. But it looks like he's definitely got a chance to win. Definitely. And there's the World card, the Wheel of Fortune. So it could really turn for him, could really bring him in. It would be something to see him win this, but he could definitely win it. On Bernie. I want to see where he's going to go with this. He's older than somebody I want in there, but if I got to have one of the old guys in, I want him. It's going to be between him and somebody else his age, whether it's, oh, we know we don't want Trump, but whether it's whatever. He would be next on my list. So this is just a quick one on Bernie. Let's see what's going on here with him. Wow, he's feeling strong and he's doing well. Got all this energy coming through and got a lot more backers getting ready to get in line behind him. They just like his straight talks and they like his ideas. Uh-oh. There's a lot of people trying to stab him in the back. I never underestimate the Ten of Swords. I've had it come up and kick me before in my card reading history 30 years ago. So I just hope that this doesn't mean, this is the obstacles, influence and obstacles. I hope that he's not in any physical danger. I hope this doesn't mean physical. But there's a lot of people that are really terrified of him getting in there. A lot of big money people. Really terrified of him getting in there. A foundation of the reading. If he did get in there, the common people would be benefited. The common people, the working people. People from overseas would respect us more. Right now, the sun's shining down on him. For the present and going for a few months and stuff, he's just going to gain more and more. He's going to go up higher in the polls. And we got the Magician here. That's a good card. He could actually pull this off. Definitely pull this off. So I don't know any more than I did before I started, except it looked like Joe Biden was going to have a heck of a time pulling anything off, but the rest of them are just anybody's guess. Anybody's guess, it looks like.